peeps, welcome back to Under Pressure. You join us in the Tatty Pit V2, where it's fancy gore are not gonna boot, and it's mad little dance hall. And that's not even mentioning the crisscrossing zip lines and the fancy hedge line paths we've got going on all the way through the Tatty Pit V2. Now you may have noticed something as I was going through the wee tunnel there. We'll have ourselves a bit of a scoot back, and you'll see we've got ourselves a bit of a hole going on. That's right. During the end of episode speedy up bit, our beavers got these sluices in. Speaking of end of episode speedy up bit, how mint is this big old cave here? The water can come up around, flood all the way down here, because I've got proper protective rings all the way around all the entrances here. Now unfortunately, if we turn the hood back on, we still have some flooded buildings knocking about. Though by the looks of things, the scrapper's not flooded anymore. Why didn't we do a best beaver impression? Pretend we've just had ourselves a zip out of the line there, and have ourselves a bit of a peek down here, and see, oh, we're too bloody tall! We're always too bloody tall, aren't we? Now let's pretend I'm not too tall, and I've just made me way doing this fancy curved stair. We do have a flooded mine. Oh no. You know what we do need in here though? Some bloody lights. Oh, and we've got a warning while I was faffing about in the cave. We've got a minimum day temperate season. That's knee bloody good. There we go, peeps. It's just dried up and it's looking better already. I can't believe it just bloody dried up and all as I got finished there. But we got the banners. We got the other banners, we got the lights, and we got the fancy hedges and shrubs. So if our mine is dried up, it means that our bad water rig is hopefully only a bad tide away from being nice and dry again. Because the 572 sitting in there will not last forever. Oh, and since we have the sky changing colours, I think this is the perfect time to go in here, say sayonara path and fancy spiral staircase, and welcome home. The tunnel side campfire. And it's still tunnel side, look. It's just a different tunnel now. The tunnel of healing. And I'm up here on the windy hill for two reasons. The first one is to show yous that I actually went in game and took me own bloody screenshot of the old windy hill icon we've got here. I cannot wait to see a beaver with that on its tail. Now does that spark any memories in any of yous as to why this may be called the windy hill? And the other reason I was over here is so we can have a peek and see what the construction progress is over the bloody observatory. Not bad, they've got the big foundations in. I think they can start laying slabs of bloody dirt in now. But now that we're nowhere near the beginning of the video, let me explain and tell you what we're doing in this episode. The first thing we're gonna do is gonna go to this big gaping hole over here and block it off. And I am gonna get fancy with this. We're gonna be using bridges to build this big old wall of dirt. Because if I remember correctly, beavers can build off the side of these bridges. Oh no. But if I'm misremembering, this is all for naught. You know what? My gut's telling us that I'm misremembering the advice I've had in previous seasons. And they can't build over the side, but they can build directly down from those bridges. Which is alright. We can just shift them over the edge there. Now for testing's sake, I am going to pop one maximum priority small pile down here, just to see if the beavers can bang over the edge or not. You never know, it might have been updated in 1.0. And yeah, I've got no idea how I missed those 2 bits of dirt. Imagine if I built this whole thing, but left 2 bits of dirt missing there. Now we already know that this isn't the only tunnel that the water spills out of when it comes out the end of this big old river here. So we're going to have to follow it on down here and block it off as well. All the way up. Oh, and this is good timing actually. Because this is another bit of hole that we need to fill up. But we need to do it in a special way. Now, of course, the first step is slapping up a big old wall. And the thing that makes it special is I want to create a dedicated barbed water poop chute with this bloody dam. So let's start blocking it off. Now, behold the barbed water poop chute. It's coming straight out the edge there. And it also should be 2 blocks wide, not 1. There we go. Straight out. Oh, blooming heck! The beavers have already popped the zipline station in. They can already get over here. Well, I came back over here to say, to actually get over there, we're going to be doing a big old path round the side. And well, you know, pathing across the whole bloody shebang here. But first, I spied a stranded beaver. Where and why, and seriously though, Malak? Where are you, brother? Where are you? Oh, mate! Are you for reals? How did you get stuck in there? I've Beaver's emergency bit of dart. We're gonna go and head off. Speed 4 with a speedy up bit. Well, now that old mate's been rescued, we can go ahead, not click that finish now button, because I'm not a big cheater, and blow that bit of dart up. Don't worry, peeps. I purposely said I'm not a big cheater. Do you want to know why? Do you want to bloody know why? Because I'm gonna go on the ground here, where we've got our big old water sources. And to make this plain and simple, we're gonna go and do it to level 0. And we're gonna click these water sources, because I want to thoroughly test our water system here. And neither wonder it's so shite! These two are only 0.25%. Well, anywho, I'm going to double these every single cycle until we just have catastrophic failure. Which I thought meant I was going to have 6 here, but I don't. I'm only going to have bloody 3. However, we have just doubled the bad water flow and good water flow when the next temperate season rolls around through our existing pressure system. Will it cope? I am proper curious to find out, like. Oh, and yeah, we're going to be doing it to all the sources up here, and these laddies are big boys. There we are, 2.5 on all of these. You can see the bad water flow is absolutely kicking off. Now let's get the world back up. Let's go, bit of a leg, but let's go back over here to where the bad water's pushing out and see if this water level rises, or if our current bad water poop chute is good enough. Now, I didn't see it in a speedy up fashion like he's did, but I'm pretty confident that it's went up maybe a quarter of a block. And this is just the first time we're doubling it. And if you know anything about doubling and doubling and doubling, it's exponential. Well, like I said, the big test will come when we have a temperate season. Will the kidney bean reservoir overspill? Will our oak farm flood? And will our big pressure tank here finally work? Oh, what an utter failure the Infinity River was. It was good fun though, and it was a decent little learning exercise. Let's have ourselves a bit of a detonate, because we had ourselves another bit of a learning exercise all the way out of the carrot corner, didn't we, Beavers? Which has allowed us, Beavers? I probably built it wrong, didn't I? I bet I built it wrong. The water should flow down here. Water? Why aren't you flowing down here? Maybe because it's a bad tide, MiGly, and we don't have any more water coming in here, you bloody numpty. Well, it is eventually making its way and greening these trees bit by bit. But anywho, while we're still loosely connected to learning things, under this little bit of cross path, I've popped a 3x3 in. Now, I did just realise there that I have to pop another bit of dynamite on here and then ladder down, otherwise we're not going to be able to actually access it now, are we? So Beavers, blow that up and then we can irrigate this whole area for longer. Now how we doing out here, Beavers? Not too bad. I do recall putting in some dodgy little access for yous at the end of the last episode. I believe it was after I stopped recording, but this is it. So Beavers should be able to access all of these ladders and everything from the bottom. Should be in the keyword, because somehow they bloody can't. I can only hope it's a pathing issue, and this sorts it right out. How's that too far from district, though? How is that too far from district? You know what? I'm just going to do something productive, like ask the Beavers to build a staircase down, so they can get the zipline station in. And then, everything will be fine. Oh, Beavers! Yous do not mess around, do yous, like? Oh, is this built? It is built! I was right! I was bloody right! Beavers get to picking that up, but not before picking all of this rubble up here. And as you were earlier, Beavers, get the fancy 3x3x3x3 bridges in there. And if the Beavers have trouble building the bridges, they can just get along the top here. Then I'm going to get crazy with my science points, considering we've got the big old-fashioned observatory getting built. And I'm going to be doing 5 long suspension bridges connecting our this bit. Now, I don't know how, but I seem to bloody miscount that. How did that bloody happen? I guess we may as well preemptively unlock the 4 long suspension bridge. There we go, we've got a nice tidy mixture of 4s, 5s and 6s. It's a mad little crossing, this one. Now, we just need to get around the corner here. Should be easy enough. Oh, while I was looking over here, I noticed that we've got a bit of a hole in the wall here. Now, does this lead into... Yes, it certainly does. That needs to be blocked. But since we're completely filling a hole in the wall, the way we like to do that is with levees. We didn't want to lose the hole, you know. And how did I miss this hole? It's a big old hole. Oh, yeah, what? No way. Oh, no, they haven't. But mild spoiler, I've went ahead and popped a bloody zipline station in that cave there. So we've got beaver builders with their hot tails running all the way to the end of here to build themselves a fancy pants zipline station. And that would have been a fantastic speedy up bit if I had the priorities correct. But silver linings, if that was a speedy up bit, I would have very much likely forgot all about filling this bit hole here. Any fancy zipline stations over to this one though, beavers? This is just some good old-fashioned hard graft. All the way to the bloody end of the map. Now, one fun thing, I did route this path directly to this tree, and instead of deleting the tree or getting the beaver to chop it down, I was like, you know what, we'll just gonna ruin it. I'm just nice like that, you know. And since we know the beavers can bang sideways off the edge of these, we may as well get this lot all blown up till the very end. How it was naturally. There we go, we've got a reason for the bridges now, you know. Oh, speaking of bridges, how are we going to magically build this one if we don't have any beavers over there? Temporary builder's path, that's how. And then I'll just make sure we high priority this bit of dirt here so we can get these platforms and bridges on. And then before I take you on a tour of all of this stuff, you never guess what I spied, peeps. Not only the finest little beaver tail on the map, but up here we've got a beaver carrying some planks, and they have easily... Well, once they speed up a bit so we can get a good view of it. Come on, a little bit more. Pause! The second best tail on this bloody map. Look at this bad lad, if I can keep in the river channel. It's annoying trying to have a look because he's such a speedy beaver with his windy hill tail on. But yeah, no, that is grand, that like. It fills up the entire bloody tail. Now come on, beavers. Surely yous are somewhere close to getting this zipline station in. Because I really want to see a beaver zipping through this bloody cave tunnel. Oh, now we've got the zipline in. However, I have a really bad feeling that we have some beavers stranded where I was standing. Let's do ourselves a bit of a turnaround. Oh, we didn't. Not a single stranded beaver. Yahoo! I was actually flabbergasted by the fact there's no stranded beavers there. Because there were a lot of beavers behind me when the lag spike occurred to see that the building had been built. Look at that pretty tails flapping in the wind. And then they get an easy access down. You build the ladder and you get straight back out of here. You know, for some reason, I've never done one of these before. A big full screen kaboom. I will say it is quite nice to see some maple syrup knocking about. Because that means the bakery in here will be pumping out those sweet maple pastry fumes all over the tatty pit. V2. So while we still have 12 days of this bad tide remaining, let me take you on a tour of the big dam situation. So of course, we all know about this one. It's freshly built, it's freshly demolished as well, and it looks wonderful. Any water that makes its way in here will be absolutely trapped by that big old dirt wall. But continuing on from there, we've got a lot of bridges. The big fancy barred water poop chute. Again, plenty of fancy bridges over the tippity top there. And then once we get to the other side, we get relief with another zipline station. Then the beavers have themselves a little bit of a wander around here. Build another set of bridges to go across this massive gap here while filling in the wall. Now, of course, we've already got beavers doing here, getting this big hole in the wall blocked away. But above that hole in the wall, we're going to be making a hole through the wall and popping a zipline station on top. Because after that, we have the end of the line, which is signified by a beaver, you know? It's like a railroad stop, but a beaver building stop. And we don't have dirt up here, we've got fancy floodgates. So my one final vision for this map is to have water flowing through all of our irrigation system and eventually making its way out. If only these 3 floodgates right here. Ambitious, I know, but I think it's a step down from the Infinity River. And I don't know if it's possible to try and step up from what I attempted with the Infinity River, like. That was something special. Now, since I'm so proud of my little tail painting icon there, I'm going to go ahead and slap another 3 of them on here. 1, neighbours with the other one, of course. But the other 2 are going to go right here for the brainiest beavers to appreciate. Naturally, either side of the observatory here. And we are slowly but surely getting there. I'm just casually unpausing these as and when they get built. And we will eventually... Oh, we didn't even need to go all the way along there. Oh, I wish I could force this to look a different way. Well, that's unfortunate. What am I going to do over here then? And you know what, since this is the Windy Hill, we may as well have a bloody weather vane in there. So, let's unpause the power shaft, get maximum priority on the weather vane, and see if beavers get to building them real quick. Ooh, piece of TNT, and I was on speed 3. And I should have used a double TNT. Oh, and as well, with this being the penultimate episode of Under Pressure, that's right, we're well into the episode before I'm announcing that. We need to bridge this gap right here. Ooh, piece of TNT. That should be absolutely perfect to pop a sluice and then a bit of dot blockage on. I couldn't think of anything better. Oh, and guess who missed another massive tunnel out the side of the map? We will certainly be wanting to cover that up. And I'd say since we've got the zipline pylons over here anyway, we may as well pop another zipline station in here, especially because I've managed to get it to naturally, properly gun through the bloody collision here. I don't have a mod on that says let it go through collision. Like, for example, I can say add connection, bring it all the way up to there, it'll say nah, line obstructed, and over here it'll say nah, line obstructed, pal. Figure something else out. Oh, now we've got the weather vane in, I can finally unpause with big old observatory. Let's get some science points on the crack. Ian peeps. I was looking at why beavers can't get over here to build this, why they've literally done nothing since the beginning of the episode. Guess who didn't connect the bloody zipline station to the zipline pylon that connects it all in together? Oh, now we might find beavers magically having a bit of a zip up this line, a zip across there, and actually banging some bloody platforms and stairs in. Which brings me to clicking here and saying that I was right. I didn't have to faff about. However, I still need these stairs because to build these 2 laddies, we need to get doing there anyway. Gotta love building with dirt, which makes us think, how much of this am I going to have to come redo? You know, apart from big massive gaping holes that I've missed and whatnot. Oh, we're here. We're here. The beavers are starting to build over to where the bad water's currently pitching out. And we do not have anything in the way of bad water repulsion until the whole thing's in. And considering most of this actually spawns from over here, I think we need to get over here. Now this is a bit of a dangerous job, so I'm hoping we can wait about, 4.5 days-ish. That way I don't have to pay the beavers any bloody danger pay. And yeah, nice one, MiGly. You put the bloody beam up here. How are beavers going to access that, you numpty? Sometimes I think these beavers are rubbing off on me, like. So instead of the beam up a height, beavers, why didn't you build a bit of a pylon down on the ground? And then you can still have yourself a bit of a smash through the wall, just a tiny bit though, and straight into building the levee plug. They've got this plug in now to matter, and I'm sure they'll have this plug in over here now to matter thanks to the fancy zip line that took them all the way down there. I love that statue right at the end of the line. Ooh, and with 3.5 days remaining, guess who very almost forgot to double the power of the bloody seep? It's currently at 1, that needs to get to 2. Now, it wouldn't have been a very fair test if I hadn't doubled the seep and all, would it? I'm actually, like, kind of terrified, but mostly absolutely excited to see what happens with this whole water channeling system that we've got. Bear in mind, we cut off the water. I haven't even shown you this, have I? Yeah, bear in mind that we cut off the river here. Yes, we have sluices, but they're closed. If we leave them open, bad things occur. For example, this big old pressure vessel that we smashed our way into at the beginning of the episode, that would flood our entire tatty pit. V2. And while we're at the tatty pit, V2, let us show you how I'm bridging this gap over here. After we blow up some detonates, of course. Big kaboomy booms. Sideways. Now we just do that again, and we'll be sorted. But behold, the bridge. We got a big 5x5 metal platform, suspended by a 6-long metal platform here, with propaganda banners all the way along. And I've decided to fully embrace the medical tunnel. So we've got paths running down, and on either side as it breaks out, we've got fancy hedges to keep the beavers all cozy and feeling like they're in nature so they can recover. Ooh, what other 2 bits of sideways TNTs are ready to blow up. Now, how many of you guessed what's going on here now? And if you haven't guessed it, it's gotta be a partially caved campfire. I mean, you gotta have something for the beavers to do up on the bridge, you know? We've got a nice contemplation spot. We've got some rooftop terraces. And now we've got our own personal campfire that anybody can use. But really, it's ours. And since we already have all of these ladders, platforms and stairs over here, let me just attach onto, say, this fancy bit of path that's definitely connected, because they all are. Get yourself a spiral staircase up the tippity top. Get a path going all the way round. Because we've got some business with these 2 blockages right here. Now, the keen-eyed beavers among you have probably realised that if we're demolishing this blockage, and we've built a cave over to here, and we've levied up to here, we may have to do a thing or two about the current corner of supplies over here. So let's sever our path. Only the zipline remains. And then if we get on level with the levee here, we know that we need to build up to this level right here when we actually get to it. Which, if we have a look, is 2 levees tall. And there we have it. Our wee flood defences. Well, I say there we have it. There we have it. Our wee flood defences. And I don't quite know why, but I'm feeling the urge to pop loads of roofs on it now. I don't know about ye, but it just adds that mad little touch to a flood wall here. Oh, it's adorable. I love it. And since we only have about 1 and a bit days left of this bad tide, we should probably get this built rather sharpish here. You know, since we've doubled the power of all our sources here on the map. Our observatory's in! And we've got beavers getting fancy little windy hill. Tail paintings, look at that bad lad. On that wee beaver's tail. It actually works. Right. Oh, look at what we got here. We've got an army of builder beavers. Bringing planks, logs, and metal blocks over to finish this big old zipline station. Because once this is done, they didn't have to make this whole trek over. I mean, even just this last bit is a bit of a pain in the billy tail, innit? Imagine if you could just zip straight from this zipline pylon all the way into here. Oh, beavers! I think you might want to hurry up a little bit. Didn't tell us. There's no water down here. For how long? For at least long enough for all of this to dry out. How did we go so wrong in this last episode, yeah? How did this finally dry out after all this time? All I know is that I'm glad I'm not being so frivolous anymore. I mean, thankfully with Carrot Cornerers here, I've got plenty stocked up, and they can easily replant and rebuild when the water flows once again. Well, actually, why don't we have water down here when we got water up here? That is very strange, actually. Why are you closed? You're not closed? Then why is there no water coming down? Oh, because you can only get water from the back, not from the top. Do we need these sluices? And we're not using this room for water storage anymore. You know what? Let's pop a bloody hole in the pressure system right here. It doesn't work anyway. We may as well just have the extra water volume for when it's needed. And why would I do that when I could do this and not waste an entire block's worth of water? And I do not believe that we need these sluices in here anymore. The floodgates behind them are doing the job. Tickety-boo. Now, good water, flow out of here. Why is there loads of bad water? What happened? Did I just... Well, I would classify that as bloody unfortunate. Now let's just let it happen. Oh, no! It's only going to be 0.3 days if nothing else, but it's 0.3 days of, like, all of the mad bad water and all of the bad water pressure that's been built up going to be coming through here out and into a whole bloody system which is getting blocked now. Oh no, this isn't blocked. This isn't blocked. Ah! Although where can the bad water go if I don't block this? I just have to leave it unblocked. Alrighty then. So, penultimate episode, we have to deal with bad water through good water system. No, man. Why? You know how tempted I was to just cheat and be like, we're going to reload an old save and not let any of that see the light of day. But nah, that's not how we do it here on the MiGly Plays channel. We live by our mistakes. And I can also fix my previous mistake and not have to have floodgates up here. Close above contamination, effing 0. Close below contamination, 1. And of course I can't put a tunnel there. Why would I be able to put a tunnel there? There's a source block underneath it. So beavers, I want you to pop a lovely, beautiful terrain block on there, purely so we can do a sideways explosion and get to the back sluices. And all of this, absolutely all of it, is maximum priority beavers. The only thing I need to do is break this connection until the bad water's all out of here. And I do believe that connection is made via this bit of path right here. So now the path no longer goes deep into the bad water territory, and beavers won't come down here and get absolutely covered in bad water. So yeah, now, at least now, the bad water shall dilute. It shall become not quite as bad and get fully diluted in with kidney bean reservoir. Although if nothing else, there's 2 pressure seep here, which is too much. It's too much. Look, the seep goes up and then it stops and then it guns down. I might have to reduce this from 0.7 to just 0. All the way down to 0. Right, now, will the seep be switching off and on? It is. Surely, brother. Now you can see the level, it charges up, it gets barely to 1 and then has to stop again. Alright, so I think with the seep, we just leave it at power level 1. And that can just remain going up to 0.7, normal things. And that can be fully excluded from our testing here. But as for the other water sources, we're pumping out lovely, fast as clean water here. Oh, it's so fast, it's going over there, no! Maybe good, but generally, no! Beavers bang some emergency flood door in there. And I'm just waiting for the bad water explosion that's about to come through, yeah! Oh no! You see, the thing is as well, the carrot corner isn't getting any water still, because these sluices are set to close above 10% contamination, and I can tell you now, it's certainly above 10% contamination hour here. But yeah, no, any particular reason why this water level isn't rising? I would expect it to be bloody flying up. But it's not even trickling up. And I'm pretty sure it's filled everything it can fill. Like, this room's full. This room's already full. This whole area's full. So why are ye not whooshing out? Oh, it is. It's starting to whoosh now. So this is the scary bit. Not just because of the bad water, but because of the whole... all of the water sources are turned up. It's about to get proper micey up in here. Oh, and there's bad water flowing out of here. Although our poor beavers need to get out of there. Get out of there, beavers! And I was just over here thinking, hang on, we're in day 2. Why do we still have bad water pressure? And then I realised, oh, we do not have bad water pressure. We've got good water pressure being absolutely wasted. And are we, man? I'm just going to have to sacrifice a beaver. I cannot. I cannot just sit and wait forever. Beavers, get your asses down here and sort these sluices out. Oh, and I spy a beaver zipping along the line. I have a feeling they're going to go right up to there and then another right through here and try not to collide with the wall. And once you've got that fancy staring, beavers, you'll be able to plug the entire cave. It's kind of mad to see the beavers from this angle as well. I'm out the map and I'm like, hello, beavers! Well, I will say thanks to the general hugeness of our kidney bean reservoir, the bad water that's flowing through there isn't really contaminating everything all that much. We're looking nice and blue in here. All over here, very different game. That's why they're not closing. You see, these should have been closing above 5% contamination, but I've got them set to always close instead of auto. So I may as well just untick that box and just allow them to be open all the time. And we can finally detonate this bit of explosive. And I'm still not convinced I can actually reach all of these. How's that too far from district, beavers? You just need to walk over the bloody source, man. So yeah, now, beavers, replop that bit of dirt doing that I got you to blow up, and then blow up 3 more bits of dirt so you can put 3 sluices on, ideally before any sort of mad tide happens. Oh no, look at the state of this. We're just pishing good water. Oh, the side of the map! Some bloody double the pressure test this, isn't it? What's the double the pressure when we've got a gaping hole? That would just send the most the water route. I suppose if nothing else, it'll make the next temperate season even wilder when we double it again and we get to see a quadruple effect. Ooh, 6 dynamite. I don't know why. I thought all 6 would explode there. But there we go. 2 lots of 3 dynamites exploding in our faces. All in the name of fancy oozing. I was thinking as well, since we have our big old observatory up and running, we definitely do not need any of these inventor huts over here. That's heaps of beavers' jobs freed up. Now the only thing, of course, is what it would do with this bit area. It's a bit special over here, because this is where we had the District 9 in the beginning. And we'll leave it at that. But we need to be a bit respectful of this land. We didn't want haunted beavers, do we? Don't worry, I didn't delete that stair by accident. I was on purpose, so I could get a fancy spiral stair in. Which also leads me perfectly on to popping a fancy spiral stair on there. What kind of self-respecting beaver gans run in circles when they could just do a fancy spiral up, man? So to be respectful of that land, we shall include a fancy tunnel system. And since we got ourselves a kaboom occurring, we may as well get some fancy spiral staircases on there. Ooh, we got 2 kabooms to be blown up here. What could we possibly be doing in this area? Now, probably the most important bits of TNT I've been consistently forgetting about. But now, thankfully, we can eventually get these 3 sluices in, get our proper pressure system up and running, and then we can actually flush this whole system for the next temperate season, which will be twice as powerful. Although we did fill the kidney bean reservoir, you know, which usually takes a full 9 days. We don't usually have a leaky water system and overspilled the reservoir in 6 days. I mean, we haven't overspilled it for that long. We're just now overspilling this little lip, which will start to fill up this whole area, which is what flooded on now. Dry, bad water pump doing here. So I really want to keep all of this nice and dry. Oh, and since we've got loads of water pishing out of here, hey, Carrot Cornerers, how have you been cracking along with your bit flood defences? Yeah, you're definitely doing something, aren't yous? Oh no, this isn't very good at all, is it? How long can the Carrot Corner survive without water? I mean, they're doing alright so far. I reckon they might be able to survive a real chill drought. An hangerboot, contaminated beaver. Where are ye? Oh, you having yourself a mope about the streets here? I'm sure there's antidote up here for you now. Why aye, slip the antidote, walkhead. It's probably that one beaver that was doing planting cattails over here. But for the next 2 days, we need to see if we flood or not. Or if our spill floodgates over here are good enough. And if they're not good enough, I've got a secret weapon we can unleash. Nah, this is 100% contaminated here, isn't it? You know what I'm going to do, peeps? I'm going to do something absolutely crazy. I'm going to say bye to the river block doing here and do what I should have done in the first place, which is replace them with floodgates. Now, Carrot Cornerers, I understand these are running low on logs. That's due to the fact that you've had no clean water to grow trees for a long time. Therefore, desperate times call for desperate measures. Chop down those dead chestnut trees. And if we act quickly enough, we might be able to save the pines and the maples. But our beavers of the Carrot Corner variety, I need these to stay out of the river entirely. Because we are about to manually open these bloody sluices and let the bad water flow through the Carrot Corner. Oh no, this is bloody terrible. Thankfully, with beavers didn't really get doing into the water all that much. Before I end up forgetting and then never getting that second floodgate in, let's ensure we can actually build both of these. Now, how's the level of the kidney bean reservoir doing? It's staying spot on. I couldn't be happier with it. But let's have a dive underground and see how quickly we are draining the bad water from these tunnels down here. Not very quickly, like. I think this is going to be an experiment in how much wasted water can we have in one bloody cycle. If doubt else, we actually have our bad water repulsion system up and running now. Well, once these 3 bits of dirt are blocked off, of course. Woo, peeps! Peeps! I had the box ticked. Once again. Therefore, this entire temperate season, the sluice has been closed! As will be evidenced by me unpausing the game and it now being open. So what was even happening? Genuinely, what was happening during that entire bloody last 7 days? And I've just spied what was happening. The seep has been doing all the heavy lifting. Oh, I've nothing else with carrot cornerers or building the bloody floodgates. And with our sluices actually open now, we might... Look at that, it's like bloody magic! Look at this clean water that's flushing out the bad water! I simply cannot at the moment, peeps, like. Although, good news, those bits of dirt are in. And technically, we do have a fully functioning bad water system here. Just not as pretty as I'd like it to be, because we only have 2 sluices instead of 3. I want to see a beaver swimming through the tunnel there. I can see it with his bit of TNT. Get it banged in, so I can bang this block out of here. And that is synchronized with the other 2. We're not going to be closing above any downstream depths. It's just going to be working tickety-boo. Oh, and look at that. We're half a day remaining and still no second floodgate. The carrot corner is finally getting some decent clean water doing in here. Now let's go on back. Oh, look. We can now shower and swim in the pool once again. Well, we're doing a 4% contamination there, man. Let's just do the auto sluice. Especially considering the floodgates being put in. Quickly down to 0 for a sec. Get out, get out, get out. We don't have any antidote doing here. So we need the water to get out. Oh, no, and I've just seen. We're going to have to slowly but surely dilute this bad water. Hang on, it's flooding. It's flooding. It's pushing the bad water out. No, that's genuinely not part of the plan. Let's chill out a bit here and stop the whole floodage situation now in the bloody carrot corner. What have the carrot corner has ever done to anybody, man? It will look to have settled out now. I'm actually going to leave these floodgates at 0.95, just in case, you know. I don't see any reason not to. Oh, and how long's the drought gonna be? 19 days. That's nice, the matter that. Oh no! This is my fault. This is actually my fault. Yep. I left a path so the beavers could build around the corner, but I didn't think about filling in the bloody gap before the owl started flooding. So you know, the beavers did do what I asked them. I just let them do as per usual. Although it is good that the zipline station continues working when it's flooded, so we can at least get beavers over here and maybe potentially helping with the build efforts. Alright, now before we do a speedy up bit for the rest of this drought, let me show you where we're up to on the whole damn progress here. Not very far. Very little progress has been made since we last checked in, to be honest with you peeps. I believe the next thing we're going to start doing is the bad water poop shoot, because it's a bit important. But after that, we'll be straight back at all of this. But before we delve in any mad all the way through the drought speedy up bit, let's double the strength of our water sources. Just the water sources though. Oh no. This is going to be actually mental peeps. We're going from 2.5 to 5 in each one of these. That's what I was on about when I was saying double and double and double, and it gets exponential real quick. So yeah, now I'm going to press the key M, the number 3, the hood off, and now we do a big 18-day speedy up bit. You should be able to see the water slowly but surely clean up. I'm doing the bottom in the carrot corner, and if you keep your peep as peep, you might be able to see that bridge housing development around the Tatty Pit V2. We know what, while we're doing a speedy up bit, how are you enjoying this episode so far? I'm assuming we're already over an hour in at this point, and we've still got a little bit to go. I've decided to have a look at all of the YouTube conventions and what I should be doing with the video, and just yeet them out the window. I'm just gonna have myself a fun old time. It's as simple as that. And since this is the penultimate episode, how have you enjoyed the Under Pressure series as a whole? From those mental beginnings to these mental endings. I think it's been a grand old series myself, but I'm naturally very biased and my opinion doesn't matter. So I'm keen to hear the opinions of those whose do matter, which is you watching this right now if you didn't cop that. I do have a fun series planned for 1.0 releasing, so be keen for that. Well, for now, we've got to get back into bloody Under Pressure and make sure everything's ticking over just the way I like it. Boy, carrot corners, get your horses out of bed. I like your fancy tails, because you've got a lot of graft to be doing this bloody temperate season. Our treat we're in cycle 46. And we still have a fair dinkum bit of water knocking about in our big system. Although, unfortunately for me, because I can't jump back up into here, but also for the carrot cornerers, we had some contamination issues. So we ended up with absolutely no water down here whatsoever. Although, you may be able to see, I've got a bit of a backup system on the way. And I've also seen that we've got 17 beavers for now today. Look at them just milling about, getting the tails refreshed over here, waiting for the campfire to spontaneously combust. It's an absolute crazy place. And I can also see that we've got 17 vacancies going on at the district centre in the middle. And I thought I had this at a minimum of I didn't have it at a minimum of 240 because we got a whole new bloody district centre, didn't we? Went from the old classic, hadn't touched it since it spawned in, over here, to going full fancy 4-way district centre over here. So I knew we should have about 240 beavers knocking about over here. The vast majority of them should be nice and hoosed. And, beavers, where's the scaffolding for this rooftop bar here? You can see by the path that there's something there. That's weird. Mad little bug. Maybe if I take the world away and bring it back, it'll return? Nah, it's gone. I'm keen to see what happens to this rooftop terrace when we load up the finale. But for now, let's have a bit of a check-up on what we've got up to. I noticed that our beavers finished these floodgates. They're all in. And if they're in, we should have floodgates around this corner here. What I would do. So we shouldn't be uncontrollably flooding anywhere. And thanks to knowledge gained by comments in the last episode, I know that this works perfectly fine underwater. And that way we can send some beavers down under the water here to create a fancy pants emergency canal for the carrot cornerers. It's gonna go along here, it's gonna chuck a left, it's gonna go down, it's gonna chuck a right, it's gonna go straight into the corner of carrots. Oh, but for now, we've got a bloody 15 strength waters coming out of here. Look at that. It is absolutely whooshing out of these bloody sluices. And they likely haven't even ramped up yet. Let me show you what I mean. If we go down to the sources, you can see on the current strength here, we're only at 0.75. We're going all the way up to 5. So now let's do some fancy fades and show you what the differences are. So at 1.5, which is coming up fairly soon, we're at 1.2.5 now, that's going to be the normal amount of flow that used to come through here. You see, it's just poked up at the top left there. It's getting a bit faster. So, around about right now is how it used to look. Oh no, it wasn't 1.5, it was 1.25, that's right. So, Editor MiGly, fade to 2.5. So here we are encroaching on 2.5 flow strength. You can see we're starting to get a bit of a bulge on the crack here when it comes to the side of the sluices. It's pushing water over the side. I do not believe that we're actually flooding over. Oh, and you can see now we're getting up to 3. We're going to start pushing water back into that bloody cave, whether we like it or not. But anywho, Editor MiGly, fancy fade to power level 5. And it doesn't take long at this point. We are properly forcing some water out of those sluices. I mean, look, we're going to get to 5 and then I'll zoom in and show you the absolute state of the water bulge coming off of this bloody sluice. It's all the way up. It's pressurised inside there. It just wants to get oot and oot and oot and oot. So I popped a little bit of dirt while up there to help it not do that. I don't know how successful that's going to be. considering it's probably just going to pish out here anyway. I guess in that case, we're just going to embrace the flooded bloody cave, aren't we? Although the question now is, do we also have to embrace a flooded bloody tatty pit V2? No, thankfully not. Or at least, not yet. We've got the waterfall flowing, which you can see thanks to us blowing the hole here in the big pressure container. But the kidney bean reservoir is not full yet, which is fan-bloody-tastic. Are we overspilling here? We are not, but we could be in case of emergency. And we are finally flushing some of the bloody bad water out of here, which will hopefully mean we've got good water flowing in the carrot corner once again. Fan-bloody-tastic. I asked these carrot cornerers to build loads of monuments, thinking, yeah, they'll get that done in the next 19 point whatever days. They got none of it done. They got 3 whole logs in one of the bloody monuments, and didn't even finish the roofs on the flood defence. Well, I will say I'm not a fan of seeing the dirtiness in the kidney bean, like. Although with these water sources being turned up as well, it shouldn't be too long until it's all flushed out, you know? But enough about the dirty kidney bean. What I want to know is how are we getting along our here? Oh, the second wall's up! The second wall is up, and look at this under construction monstrosity here. We need to get beavers doing. Let's sort that out for them real quick. One real fancy spiral staircase, not where I clicked it, and one normal staircase. We'll get we're doing there. Didn't worry about the second normal staircase. We didn't target with them. We know that beavers can get down there. Oh, I'm thinking bloody zip hour here. I've been keen for them to get this zipline station in. Because before they got it in, they had to disembark from this zipline station, walk across all the bridges and paths, just to get down and start building this, whereas now they can at least zip to here and do a bit of backtracking. How far you've got round the corner? Looks like I still need to do some bonus builds over here. Oh no, they just can't get materials. That top one's too far for though. We'll have to pop a ladder on for this top one. But the other two, we just need more bloody logs. What about ruined here? Ooh, we're starting to get the bridges up, and we're starting to get bags of dirt in here to start damming up this wall. Hey, we're making canny progress, like. I'm bloody happy with this. Although I'm not too happy with the fact I have to blow up these bits of dirt to get the beavers to build these bits of dirt. And I just realised we're running low on planks, and we didn't need these platforms anymore. We've already got the big box on. So why not get these bloody planks all picked up? Oh no! Our drainage isn't powerful enough for this! Now we are officially flooding in the Grilltop Hill. But are we? We are! We're waterfalling doing it in the bloody kidney bean reservoir! No! How's the kidney bean reservoir doing though? Is that overtopping? Oh, it's a bloody bout to. Oh no, if this overtops, it's gonna go down the hole and it's gonna flood the bloody... No! It happened! But did it flood the mine? No, thankfully it didn't. Although what the bloomin' X gone on ya, beavers? I swear this is all prioritised, but apparently not. Apparently bloody not. Ah yes, it was this side that I prioritised. Utterly failed to prioritise these laddies doing here. It turns out 21 water strength is too much for our little system. So it's about time we open up the emergency sluices! Open these bad lads! And we may as well slap this down to 0. So with the water level flowing out here, how we're doing back here? Have we stopped the flooding? Can we now plant trees? Can we not have a big bowl of beaver soup in the middle of the map, please? I might have to... Oh, it doesn't matter. I was going to say I might have to reinforce this bit and hang it up one, but then I would also have to reinforce this bit and hang it up one, and this has got loads of shape built on it. I wish I'd noticed that a bit sooner, like. It does look like the water level will come down. And as terrifying as this is, I think I just have to let it. I just have to deal with the flooding. And just let it fall out the side of the map here. Well, not literally, of course. We do not allow water to pish out the side of the map all willy-nilly. We only want water pishing out the map once it's went all the way around it and trickling out of these 3 floodgates right here. I'm still not a massive fan of the lack of bloody dry ground. Oh, no, look, it is. It's drying up. It's drying up before our very eyes. We're no longer waterfalling. We're still waterfalling in the kidney bean, though. Although this is, thanks to a one-way sluices, probably the last place to get drained, but also the last place to get filled. So let's have a quick check. Are we backflowing for potentially the first time ever through here? No, we absolutely are not. We are still flowing in through here. Now let's double check that on the other side. We are absolutely still flowing into the kidney bean reservoir. Which means we're still going to be pishing out this big waterfall here. This is absolutely not grand at all. Like, I could fix it actually. Emergency fix, temporary fix, emergency. Yeah, go on then. See this bit of impermeable floor right here? Bygone. We most certainly want to replace it. So we'll get that maximum priority on a pause. And then to ensure the water's got somewhere to go, we're going to have to go ahead and open up this sluice here. Look at it, filling up the tunnel once again. But we now have a drain inside the tatty pit. V2. So you can piss your water out of the edge as much as you want. Thankfully, you've stopped now. Of course, you stop the second to actually do something about it. But I know, we still need to drain the water. So, you know, it is useful. It is still useful here. But it's not just upstream of the dam that we've got to worry about. What happens if it gets a tad bit heck as downstream? Like I believe we are about to be. Are we overspilling the floodgates yet? Have we got to that level? We haven't. We are about to though. Oh, we're on it. We are at the level. Once this gets to 0.75, we are going to start flowing water all the way back into this hole here. This hole's never really had good water in it. It's always been a bad water hole until it dried up and then it was a hole. But we are going to moisten this hole once again with fresh, clean, blue water. And the water's drained from here. Blooming MiGly, you leg end. What we do need to do though is go under here and close these sluices. So now we shouldn't have any more water coming off here. Oh, that's right, look at the wave. The wave of shallowness. And to be fair, all the water that's just been pumped out of there, thanks to our Infinity River system, is just going to get pumped all the way back into the river. And my only concern is I can't really automate the opening and closing of these sluices. I have to actually keep on top of it, unlike the floodgates. Although, to be fair, at this point in time, I don't know if it matters that much, because we have basically equal water levels here now. Alright, you know what? Let's just see what bloody happens. And I am quite happy that I put an extra bit of barrier up here to give it a bit of space. I didn't have that initially, but if I didn't do that, yeah, this whole area will be flooded once again. What? Whoa! What is the hole? No. No, we don't do this very often on the MiGly Plays channel, but this is one of those times where we're just simply not at all ever going to mention it again. We're just going to zoom out and pretend like we're not utter numpties. And we are absolutely flooding all of these floodgates, yeah! Well, I would say all of them, but it doesn't look like these ones have got the memo quite yet. We'll have to wait for the water to catch up, aren't we? Why is there already water in here? When did we surge and I didn't realise? What a blooming X going on this map, and why do we have water over here? We're surging, aren't we? We're just generally surging. Oh, that's not a very good sign. That water level there is one above the tatty pit. Why is there such pressure? 1.81. This sluice closes an entire block before what it is now. Damn. And after this bad tide, we're going to have to double these water sources again. What's going to happen then? Oh, we've got a bad tide! Bad tide inbound! Right, panic beavers! Panic stations! You need to get this entire thing up and running in the next 2.3 days. Oh, and you what? You could reach that all along? Well, let's not blow up the bloody dynamite. You can pick that stuff up if you really want to, but not until you've built all of the bad water poop chute. Why have we got 30 beavers without a D? Oh, we're not flooded over here again, are we? Different tellers. 220's the new minimum over here. We'll kick 30 beavers out of the carrot corner. They can just chill over there. And then I'll happily sit with one beaver without a D in the bloody... Oh, there it is! Look, it's how much spilling! Here we go! Oh, I was just wanting to make sure that we weren't overspilling here because... No. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Because we don't want to fill that hole with water is what I was going to say. Oh, now here we are. We're at the level! We're at the level, peeps! We're at the bloody level! Read, this is happening. First person. We're gonna go on chasing waterfalls, just like the song tells you today. Now, I am planning on this being a speedy up bit, but it might not be, depending on how bloody choppy it gets. Although now, we'll definitely cut the speedy up bit, because we're in a bit of a race against time. We don't want to end up underwater! Oh, it's too fast! Pause!
No, run, pause button, run them, stop!
Why was there water coming out of the tunnel? Beavers, would you mind just to be so kind and tell me why the heck we're flooding in here once again? Oh no, it's not even from over here. I just saw where it was coming from and I know exactly what's happening. Yeah, that's right. We didn't plan correctly. And now me underground bloody power system's all flooded. Well, that's not bloody good, is it? I may as well collect all of the resources back off of it. And am I saying that we're bursting the banks over here and spilling over the side as well as the little hole? In that case, our defences are going to have to get bloody serious. That's right, we are getting extensive with it over here. And I suppose I can only be thankful that I've got loads of builder huts sitting up a height here. And I hope beavers can access these 1,000 dirt blocks from here. They can, I saw them can do. So you best get to bloody banging them in here and stopping this flooding. I can stop it temporarily. And I mean very temporarily. It will come back. And it will come back with a vengeance, mind you. But for now, the water in has stopped. And therefore, the flooding has stopped. Although now, the water in is returning with a passion. Because it's overflowing absolutely everything. Including the edge of the map, which we absolutely do not want. And we do not want this either! Not again! Not a bloody again! So now those floodgates are set to 0.75 again. We are going to get an absolute tidal wave coming in here. I mean, somehow we've got water. Oh, no, that's right! There's an effing tunnel! Oh, put it all one layer too low. Oh, numpty status is increasing in this episode, like. Yeah, just flood everything. Whatever. Crack along with it. Tatty Pit V2ers. My real concern is over here. And what the blooming hair. Quick and okay. Oh, no. This is not good. At all. In the slightest. We got 135 beavers without a D, man. Look at all of these beavers without a D. All of the tatties are going to be waterlogged. And like I say, next season it's going to get even bloody worse. And I suppose now is as good a time as any to show you my last vision for this map. Which was to have the river flowing here again. But over the top of the other river. Whilst also filling up the river underneath. Even though that's currently already full, so I don't have to worry about that. And if we have a look through this wall, we're not letting any water out of here. And if we continue on basically any of these little side branches, the water gets blocked off every which way it tries to escape. Unfortunately, that includes this way for the bad water, which we need to absolutely sort out. Like, absolutely sort it out. You know what, actually? I've just had a cracking idea about how we can actually sort the bad water out right here, right now. You see how we've got this big old tube to let the bad water out? Why don't we go ahead and just block it off? Very simply, slap a bit of dirt on there. Now, of course, that does mean deleting some of this top layer, but that's absolutely fine with me. Because now you can see, all we need to do is smash in 1, 2, 3 bits of blocks, and we are sorted. So Beavers, your proper maximum priority job is getting 1 log in there. Somehow you don't have a single log to your name. Do we need to go on another pilfer run? Now you got 92 logs. Sorted out, Beavers. I'm even going to lower the priority of this because this is a bloody fruitless effort anyway. I mean, just look at the state of the water flowing out of there. It's so fast. It's absolutely rippling down the bloody channel. And then once it gets down to here, it tries to escape. It gets blocked once again. Until it gets to this level, of course, because we still need some wood for some reason. And then we're also going to block it from escaping down here. Force it back up and around. And out of these floodgates here. Although, thankfully, we do have 1 bit of levee wall in. And it is the end of the line with the beaver. And if I stay here much longer, I'm going to end up bloody underwater, aren't I? Look how fast it's coming up. This is speed 3, you know. Like, hold on. Just speed 3. No speed 4 shenanigans. It's just that 21 water pressure is a lot of water pressure. But you know, one good thing. Look at how green the map is. We basically only have one brune corner. The rest of it's nice and greened up for her. Now that is an accomplishment and a half. Just don't worry about the middle being totally blue. It's not supposed to be blue. And I can see we're not flooding from over here either. So our new drain position has to be over here somehow. I reckon we may as well just delete this bloody here. Just say see you later. And then that can act as a bit of a drain. I mean, it's likely going to act the opposite way at the moment and push water up. But over time, it'll act as a drain. I wonder if I leave that open actually. Just like a permanent drain. Because we should never get more than 0.90 under here anyway. Oh, you know what could be good? Right, I'm definitely putting an impermeable floor back down there. But I have plans for this area right here. Which means these don't have to be impermeable floors. They can be the big drain holes. Although I will say, it is nice to sit and contemplate with the beavers about our lovely wet settlement. Beavers do love flooding their settlements, you know. Gives them wet fur bonuses by default. And it is also why they've very cleverly built up a height here and there. Just don't worry about the fact that all of the food growing and cooking operations are currently underwater. With 0.3 days remaining, am I going to have to go 24-hour working days? I think I am, you know. I'm going to go 24-hour working days here. Unless there's a beaver. Ooh, Mr. Beaver, why do you have dirt in your hand? You should be coming over here to hammer that in, and that is all. Oh yeah, we're gone. The legendary Windstone Beaver banging away. Until he isn't. Can we have any beaver? This is definitely a 24-hour working day now then. I'm not leaving that hole on... No! What are you banging that in for? Why is that maximum priority? Yeah, MiGly, you're a proper special beaver at times like. Would you mind not banging that, turning around and banging that? Not going home, but banging that! And with beavers banging everything but the absolute essential bit of dirt in. And our whole entire settlement of the Tatty Pit, V2, being almost completely flooded. Not that that'll stop the Agora light though. That ploughs on through, just like our braziers of bonding. And even with a 2090 bad tide inbound, we won't let that get us down, now will we, beavers? But yeah, I hope you're looking forward to the finale of Under Pressure. It will be ridiculous and probably quite lengthy. Hopefully not as long as this one though, because this might take about 3 days to bloody edit. And the video release isn't a day and a half. So the only thing left for me to do is get out of the water, climb this big old spiral staircase. Hope that you have enjoyed this big old penultimate episode of Under Pressure. And have myself a bit of a contemplate by the cupcakes about how we get ourselves out of this situation. And accomplish the rest of our finale goals, while not letting the Tatty Pit V2 fall into ruin. And all of that, on top of we're having to double all of the water sources again when we start the next episode. So yeah, nah, if you want to find out how all of that ends up happening in the season finale of Under Pressure, tune back next week. And a toodle